pocket, yeah, I did all that. Big plans, partners trying to make profits, yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no wins, yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen, putting hours in my practice, I did all that. Yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah. I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs, yeah. I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, yeah. Run it, ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my big dog, walking big talk, young veteran, living legend, bet I'm better than them. This is my ship, I'ma jack it like Letterman, y'all but not let them in. They gon' rotate this, so I keep the pedaling, started a chain. The cycle is heaven sent, this is from God, but I'm not your reverend, not in the pulpit. I'm a pit bull in this element, yeah. Said you gon' pull up, then settle it, yeah. I've been married to this hustle, this is my ring, watch I step in it, yeah. And I ain't even got a yard, but I'ma get it here. Watch how I touch down, pulling plans out the clutch. Everybody getting crushed, the cut down is for us now. Have to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket, yeah, I did all that. Big plans, partners trying to make profits, yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no wins, yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen, putting hours in my practice, I did all that. Yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah. I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs, yeah. I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, yeah. Run it, ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my, yeah. Run it, I can't take no loss, I don't even know what it costs, I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah. I can't take no loss, I don't even know what it costs, yeah. I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, yeah. Run it, ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my pen ready. Used to hold myself back, my self-esteem damn bad. Gotta keep on chugging, ran through everything in front of me. Might smoke bed heavy, got a whole agenda. Can't aspire to get ahead, so bump that, it's no surrender. Got a dollar flipped up, I'm trying to get it in FT to get them when they're in hand and crypto. Learn how to fix that. I don't really hold out of books, but I'ma learn how to fix that. Some opportunities and never come Alycia, paying attention, so no, I can't miss that. Moving, MVP, I got the record, I might have to pro something. Big jumper worthy, they gon' have to retire my jersey early. Whole crew coming, had to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket, yeah, I did all that. Big plans, partners trying to make profits, yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no wins, yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen, putting hours in my practice, I did all that. Yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah. I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs, yeah. I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, yeah. Run it, ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my big dog, walking big talk, young veteran, living legend, bet I'm better than them. This is my ship, I'ma jack it like Letterman, y'all but not let them in. They gon' rotate this, so I keep the pedaling, started a chain. The cycle is heaven sent, this is from God, but I'm not your reverend, not in the pulpit. I'm a pit bull in this element, yeah. Said you gon' pull up, then settle it, yeah. I've been married to this hustle, this is my ring, watch I step in it, yeah. And I ain't even got a yard, but I'ma get it here, watch how I touch down.
I hit the ground, then it goes off. I hit the ground, then it goes off. Yeah. We back. AM Sports Media back in the building. He is Jay, the chosen one. I am Greg, a legend in my own mind. I don't really give a damn what y'all say, though. I'm actually a legend, even though I know it's really, truly just only in my mind. Eventually, some of you sons are gonna think it too. What's going on with you guys? Nah, man, we just cutting up right now, man. Chilling, relaxing, and appreciate everybody that's currently on with us. 28 people in the building. We got 10 likes. Make sure you go ahead and smash the like button right now so that other people can find this content. And let me see what people are saying in the chat very quickly. Brandon House in the building. Salute Jay and Gray. Uppercuts Boxing. What's going on with you, Brandon House? Let's see. Larry Lopez. Salute, fam. Salute. Skills from New Orleans. Salute. All things. Salute. Salute. My guy Jay's in the building. Salute. Tampa's in the building with all things, I guess. And what else? All right. Nicole Dunkley. Nicole, are you in ATL? Because I'm in ATL as well. All right, man. Jay, let's start off by thanking the people that support the channel, Rock Dog Interactive. If you need anything in regards to your website, web design, logo design, even streaming, they can help you out. Rock Dog Interactive. Make sure you guys go check them out. They are the reason why we got this lovely layout that we currently have that you cannot find duplicated by anybody else because they use StreamYard, and that is cookie cutter. The League of Legacy, Black Father Figures. Huh?
Shots.
What'd you say? Oh, that's shots to some people, I guess. Black Father Figures, the League of Legacy. That's our guy. He's doing wonderful work out there in the community. Black Father supporting us. So thank you very much for the work that you're doing. And then Nadaj Vodka, www.nadajvodka.com is one of the best tasting vodkas. You will find that kiwi twist. I put it in all my mixed drinks, or sometimes I just put it over the rocks. Nadaj Vodka, www.nadajvodka.com. Make sure you go check it out. It is black owned. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Jay, where do you want to start? I know this show is going to be dominated by a few names, I know. Yeah. So, guys, make sure you guys just bear with us because, there was a lot going on there. And I'm particularly interested in hearing what my guy Jay has to say on some of this stuff. And I'll share what a conversation that I had with someone yesterday. As a matter of fact, I might actually go ahead and ping them right now and see if they're available. But go ahead, Jay. Tell me where you want us to start.
Yeah, I mean, before we get into the other stuff, let's go ahead and get a couple of things out the way. As we know, last night was the last night of Showtime boxing. They had a 3-fight card with Dave Morel, Chris Colbert, and Berto. Andre Berto and Robert Guerrero.
Yeah.
Robert Guerrero won by UD in a close fight. Both of them came in shape, being that they're 40 years old. They came in shape, fought like 40-year-olds and fought like they've been out of the ring for a little while, but they did what they had to do, got it out the way. Next fight was a rematch. Jose Rayo, I know I'm gonna mess up his name, so I won't say his last name. I just call him Rayo, versus Chris Primetime Lil B-Hop Colbert. Rematch of a fight that had in March. The rematch went basically exactly how the first fight went. First round, Rayo dropped him in like 45 seconds. I don't know. Were you able to see that fight last night?
I saw the last 2 rounds. I didn't see all of it. Unfortunately, it was date night for me, so I couldn't get out of it.
Gotcha. But yeah, so in that fight, Chris Colbert, we know Chris talked all this noise, talked a lot of noise before the fight and whatnot. Also talked about, the loser had to give up 50,000. Chris got knocked out in the 6th round. Cold. On his face. He was out. Night. Smelling sauce. Everything. Yeah. So Rayo handled business at 135. He called out Tank after the fight. We'll get into more about Tank, so I want to save Tank till a little bit late in the show because a lot of stuff going to be dominated with Tank and another fighter. Well, Chris actually got up. Rayo was like, hey, that was childish of us making that bet. Don't worry about the 50,000. Me personally, I'm gonna take that 50,000 because Chris was pushing that for that 50,000 on this fight last night. Chris said he wanted a rematch because they 1-1 on that. So it's like, nah, he needed to just taking that L. He got the first win somehow. Be done with it. The main event, David Morel. I can't pronounce the brother name from Ghana. Either way, David Morel got him up out of there in 2 rounds, knocked him out. David Morel, he got them things in his hand. Because the way he was hitting the old boy was knocking him across the ring with every punch. And very quickly, all things, Rayo need to get that rematch with Ghost, aka Edwin Dos Santos. He need that rematch because Edwin knocked him out, and I think this will be a good rematch. Good fight too on that one. But Dave Morel, definitely, he looks like the business at 168, and he called out Dave Benavidez again. He said that's the fight he wants 100%. I'm kind of thrown off with that call out there because I'll be calling out a champion, which is Canelo. That's who I would want at 168. I won't want Dave Benavidez. I would want Canelo. So, but yeah, what are your thoughts, Greg, on any of those fights there?
Yeah, so I got an opportunity to see I saw all of the fight with David Morel, but I'm gonna start with Chris Colbert. He needs to go back down. He's simply not big enough to deal with the power at that weight class. There were so many punches that felt like they were just really just knocking him around, and even when he was able to get off, he was not able to even move that guy. So I don't think he has what it takes in terms of power to be competitive at that weight class. I think he needs to move back down. And that's probably going to play into, some of the topics that we have later on. But size is a big deal. And Rayo looked huge in there versus him. So I just feel like he's not at that weight class. It's not his natural weight class. He needs to move back down. David Morel, personally, and we'll probably do a video on this, but I see David Morel as a major player in the division, Jay, to be quite honest with you. And I want to take a little time to talk about him. Morel has the requisite size. He has the requisite power to be a problem for Canelo Alvarez, for David Benavidez, for anybody that chooses to be at the 168-pound division because of that power. And he's not just powerful, Jay, but he's skillful too. Like the gentleman from Ghana, he couldn't get anything off for Morel. Morel has looked destructive. Now, of course, when he gets into the ring with anybody that's more skilled, we'll see where maybe some of his deficiencies are right now. But as it stands, based off what we've seen, he would be a problem for anybody. And he seems like, you would think, hey, I don't want to put him in a ring with somebody like David Benavidez too quickly, right? Because where is he? Like, that was his 10th fight yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. He's 10-0.
Yeah, that was his 10th fight. Yeah, he's 10-0 with 9 knockouts.
But so that's really quick to put him in a ring with a world-class fighter like David Benavidez. But when you look at the power, he's David Benavidez size, if not an inch taller. The range that he has, the skills that he has, he's going to be a problem for anybody at 168 pounds. So I don't think you'll see him in a ring anytime soon with somebody like Canelo, because personally, and people are going to say that we're hating when we say this, but I don't even think Canelo really wants to be in the ring with David Benavidez. And David Benavidez is certainly a bigger name than David Morel. So he's definitely not going to get in the ring with David Morel. David Benavidez has shown a willingness to fight basically anybody in the division. And I truly believe that when he says that he wants to stake his claim as the best in the division and one of the best all time, I believe that. And you know that there were rumors before, Jay, that he was getting ready to fight David Morel, which I was very surprised about. Like, why in the hell would you fight David Morel when you got an opportunity to fight Canelo Alvarez? I'd be trying to position myself solely to fight Canelo Alvarez. I would forget David Morel, forget him. Let me get Canelo Alvarez and then move up to 175 and fight somebody like Bivol, which I would probably have an advantage over, right? If I'm David Benavidez, or Better Beef. And if I lose the Better Beef, I mean, nobody's going to say anything. So, the fact that he was willing to fight Morel, or at least there was some conversation in regards to him fighting Morel, that's a big deal. I just think right now, man, David Morel is a huge player at 168 pounds. That power is going to give anybody problems. That range is going to give anybody problems, skills. He has it all. Ronnie Shields is doing a really, really good job with him, Jay. So what's your thoughts on those comments that I just made?
Yeah, no, I mean, if I was David, I was surprised when David said that he was. David Benavidez said he was okay with fighting Morel, but to the best of my knowledge and recollection, I thought Morel's team stopped that fight back then. I want to say it was a couple of years ago, maybe.
No. That was this year. That was this year.
That was this year? I thought for sure it was even. I thought it was for before.
That was this year. That was this year.
Oh, well, I mean, that's still surprising. That's why I like David Benavidez, because he's wanting to fight. He's been wanting a Canelo fight for the longest. He was a mandatory for the longest. But people say, "Oh, you need to fight somebody." Okay, so he did. He fought Plant. He fought Boo Boo. So now, if I'm here, I'm not fighting David Morel next. My fight next in May, I'm demanding WBC handle their business and make me the mandatory, make Canelo to fight me then. He doesn't need to fight no damn winner of John Ryder Munguia. Doesn't need to fight no Jamal Charlo. Doesn't need to fight anyone else out there. He needs to be fighting David Benavidez. That's the fight he should fight in May. Point blank, period. No one else. So that's what I'm going there. It's not a fact that I'm going to be afraid of Morel. It's just right now I've earned it. I fought damn near. I'm not supposed to be cleaning up everyone in the division over and over again. Just let Canelo just to fight whoever he wants. I know Canelo is the cash cow. We know that. But I'm tired of that. And we'll get into that about some other fighters that kind of do the same thing as well. as far as like who they fight and when they fight and whatnot. But I think David Morel is damn good. He's scary. I mean, being a southpaw as well, and the size and the speed and the power, it's going to be interesting to see that young man continuing his career. You know, I definitely want to see him and David fight, him and Benavidez fight, but I want to see Canelo fight Benavidez first.
No, definitely. But let me ask you this: if Canelo were to do this, which I thought he would, but I mean, at this point, and feel free in the chat to tell us if you feel differently, but would you accept Canelo Alvarez saying that he would want to fight someone like David Morel if he was like, yeah, David Morel is going to be my next fight for May? Would you be like, okay, not only am I cool, I'm cool with that fight, but I think that Canelo is taking a risky fight, and if he were to win, I would give him full credit for doing so. I'm just curious, just based off of, because right now Morel is 10-0, so he lacks experience. But man, he looks absolutely devastating right now, dude. Devastating.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I would watch that fight just because I think David Morel is a really good fighter. I don't know if he's ready for Canelo based on all that experience. I mean, David Benavidez has more experience than Morel, but Canelo's been around for a long time. He's fought some of everybody. You know, I don't know if Morel is ready for that just yet, although he's wanting Benavidez. But right now, I'll watch that fight, of course. But the fight that has to happen in May is Benavidez and Canelo. Otherwise, Canelo is, you know, he's going to be looking like a duck, basically, on that, because that's his mandatory. You know what I'm saying? It's been far too long now. Who has he fought? He's fought everyone when you told him to fight. Now you want to fight David Morel. Who else are you going to want to fight next? The next person that comes at 168 that knocks somebody out? You know, how long are you going to keep running that same old lame story? But I mean, of course, I would watch that fight and I would give Canelo credit for that fight. But I would favor Canelo probably in that Morel fight, more than likely, yeah, because of experience on there, you know. But Morel, with time, that dude's he's nasty. He's a major problem. And Jay, I like that. A Morel versus Caleb Plant. That'd be a good fight. I was chatting with one of my homeboys yesterday about that. We both said like David Morel and Plant, that would be a great fight to have. Great fight to have. I don't know if Plant's gonna go that route with him though.
Yeah, I don't see Plant taking that fight. So one part of me would like to say that I would give Canelo Alvarez full credit for fighting someone like David Morel because of like the size difference, the power, the reach advantage, so forth and so on. But because we haven't seen David Morel in there with the upper echelon of the 168-pound division, so someone that can actually challenge him and or expose his deficiencies, then, you know, it's a catch-22. So like initially, if Canelo were to beat him, I'd say, you know what, man, I got to give Canelo full credit for beating him. But you know what I always say, Jay, and a lot of people don't like this because they like for you to stand on the same thing regardless of what new information is available to you. But when new information is available, then our opinions may change. If he were to go and fight Canelo Alvarez and Canelo Alvarez beats him, right, and then he subsequently loses to, like, I'm just gonna throw Caleb Plant name out there, right, and you know he doesn't look good against Caleb Plant. Not only that, he loses. Then the win for Canelo Alvarez, of course, is diminished. Like what you did before is important, but also what you did after is important, right? So it's going to always play a factor into your career. Just like for me personally, I think Canelo is a feather in the cap of Floyd Mayweather because of look what he did after the Floyd Mayweather fight. Similarly, if you look at someone like Barrios, although a lot of people don't want to give Gervonta Davis credit for this, but look at Barrios and how he looked subsequent to the Tank fight. He gave Keith Thurman all he could handle and he beat Ugas. So that is a feather in the cap of Tank, just based off what he did after the fact, right? So you got to take all those things into account. But David Morel, in my personal opinion, Jay, is definitely a player in the division right now. So where do you want to go from here?
Yeah. So I mean, there's another fight on the Zone. I mean, those are the smaller weight class. We don't really watch those too much. I did catch some of it. Sonny Edwards and Jesse Bam Rodriguez, and Bam took care of business. Bam looked damn good in that fight. I think they fought at 112, if I'm not mistaken. But Bam looked damn good in that fight there. So, you know, they're talking about he's going to be moving around and going to the next big thing for him, which is great on that side over there. But on to the next. So the ladies got a little spicy a couple of days ago. Claressa Shields and Alycia Baumgardner were going at it. Basically, it stemmed from. Well, let me back up. Claressa Shields got started off first about someone posted a video about her being dropped. She claimed about the dude that she had already been giving the dude work, and the dude took out padding in his gloves. That's how he pretty much got the upper hand on her and dropped her. She was mad about that being put out, and I thought it was a sucker move. It's definitely a sucker move who would put that out there that you sparring for one, and then you drop the woman in that. Now I know Claressa said that she wants to fight Keith Thurman. She can beat dudes and all that stuff there. That was just a sucker move right there. Just a sucker move. I don't appreciate that there, but she said she wasn't knocked out. She said she got up anyway on that, and then later on, then it started going between AB and Shields. They started going back and forth, and AB said she would fight her. She said she would fight at 147. We know Claressa fights, I believe, at 154, 160, and 168, if I'm not mistaken. At times, and she's definitely been 3-time undisputed. Claressa can fight her butt off. So can AB. That'll be an interesting matchup, I mean, for early 2024. So we'll see how that goes. But I think she might be too big for AB, now that I think about it, especially at 147. I think AB is just too small for her. What's your think? What's your thoughts, brother?
So let me bifurcate this, right? Because I want to talk about two separate things. I want to talk about the fact that Claressa Shields got dropped. I want to start off there. And this is probably not going to be a popular opinion. This is where my inner Kevin Samuels is going to come out, and people may not like this, but I don't give a damn, because this is actually what I think, and feel. Number one, let me preface my comments by saying I'm a feminist. And by feminist, I mean I believe in equality, right? So anything that is okay for a man, or anything that a man is rightfully earning, I think a woman should also get as well. With that being said, I've seen Claressa Shields on several occasions talking about men and how she spars against men, and was actually commenting on a video where she was beating the brakes. I mean, she was literally teeing off on this guy and talking about how she does this quite often in sparring. So how can you basically talk about this sparring where you were teeing off on this guy and you showed this guy no respect, but then get upset when sparring is leaked for yourself, where you're basically getting dropped? Like, I don't understand that, right? It's like in one breath, you want to talk about fighting men. In another breath, when you get knocked out by men, and then men bring that up to you that you got knocked out, now all of those men are soft and sorry and everything. Well, actually, before that, she basically said that all men basically ain't nothing, if you will. And now the men that were actually bringing it to her attention of all the things she said, now all those men are nothing, or sorry, or soft, or whatever, you want to call them. Hey, they're doing to you exactly what they've done to Frank Martin, what they did to Keyshawn Davis, what they did to Shakur Stevenson after his sorry performance. They're getting in your ass because something happened to you. So you can't in 1 minute want to be classified with men, talking about you can beat men, but then don't want the same criticism as the men. It don't work like that. It doesn't work like that. And I'm a fan of Claressa Shields. I think she is the absolute GOAT. I think she is, because if you look at just overall accomplishments, she's accomplished more than any other woman in the sport of boxing in history. And she's quick to talk about all of her accomplishments and compare them to the accomplishments of men. However, I want to point this out very quickly. The level of competition in women's boxing, although we greatly enjoy women's boxing, I certainly do, is not the same level as the men. There's a reason why there's not a 3-time undisputed champion in the men's category, because it's so many fighters out there that are really good, that are going to give you a challenge that you're not going to be able to accomplish something like that. So I like Claressa, but I think she's dead wrong in this regard. Then she goes in and she says, oh, they took the padding out of the gloves. Say what? So you're telling me that your coach missed the padding being removed from the gloves. Your anybody that was a part of your camp, his coach missed that he took the padding out of the gloves. You missed that he took the padding out of the gloves. Well, that's a you issue if you got into the ring with somebody that didn't have padding in the gloves, because that is a dereliction of duty of yourself and your camp. That's your issue. So personally, I don't believe that whatsoever. She was completely embarrassed by the fact that she got dropped, which is okay. You got dropped by a guy that got his ass kicked by Rolly, and then you want to start talking about you gonna come to Las Vegas in the TMT gym and beat Rolly's ass. You ain't gonna do nothing. Rolly would dog walk you. Keith would dog walk you. Any of these guys that are at least C-class fighters that are actually intent on fighting you would dog walk you. However, I cannot dog walk you. So if you ever see me out in person, please leave me alone. I do not need that issue. Okay? Jay, there you go.
Nah, just take the pad out your glove, Greg. You got her. Take the pad now, you get her.
I don't want that. I don't want it.
You don't want that work, man?
Nope.
Come on, man.
Nope, I don't want it.
Not that.
Don't want it.
So you don't want to work with her? You don't want to work with a bunch of 10-year-old, 12-year-olds?
I can beat the 12-year-olds. I don't know about her, boy. I don't know about her. She's a lot. Now let me go on to the other thing that you brought up, right? So you brought up the fact that Alycia Baumgardner and her started talking about fighting each other, and it really stemmed from the fact that Alycia Baumgardner said that she was interested in fighting her, which stems from a couple of months ago. Alycia Baumgardner started talking about that, but for whatever reason, she found it offensive. Now let me start off by saying I posted on Alycia Baumgardner's Twitter account. She actually responded to me. Shout out to Alycia Baumgardner. I would love to get you on the channel for an interview, and I'm certainly going to try to do that at some point. But with that being said, you know, Alycia is interested in moving up to 147 pounds to fight her. Man, I just think Claressa Shields is too big, man. Clarissa's kind of built like a dude, man. She like a small dude. I just feel like, you know, if AB were to move up to 47, although I believe AB is just as skilled as Claressa, I think with the additional weight, because you got to look at AB when she gets in the ring, dog, she doesn't have a whole lot of body fat. And in my opinion, you tell me if you feel that, you know, I'm wrong here, Jay, but I feel like AB sometimes gasses in the middle rounds. So if you're going to then put on extra weight, muscle or otherwise, to move up to 147 to face Claressa Shields, I think she could possibly gas out even quicker. So, and then Claressa, I think I'm not even sure she can get down to 47. That's a lot of weight to drop for her to get down to 47. So, you know, I think that'll be a challenge. I would love to see it. That would be a huge fight in the sport of boxing, specifically amongst African Americans and in that Midwest, Ohio, Detroit area. Hell, I would probably go up there to actually see the fight, man, to be quite honest with you. I'd probably travel to go to that fight, but I just don't see it happening. If they do end up happening, or if they do end up fighting, I just feel like with Claressa, if she can get down to 47, she'll be depleted. AB won't be the same fighter at 47 with the extra weight. I think we might not see the fight that we would expect or hope to see if those two were to get into the ring. So that's my thought on it.
I mean, I think it'd be an interesting fight. I mean, just the fact that AB was talking about how Claressa was talking about how Claressa would probably go down to fight an MMA fighter, but she went to 147, but she wouldn't fight her at 147. So, I mean, Claressa probably could get down there. It'll be interesting. It'll be tough for her, don't get me wrong, you know, but the way the women have been fighting their weight class, the way they yo-yo up and down, that's why Claressa's been able to become 3-time undisputed, because she's jumped several weight classes and going back down. But going back down is going to be a lot tougher to me, in my opinion, for her. On there.
She's gotten older, though. Cool. She's like 29 now. It's get tougher as you get older, right?
Yeah. I mean, you know how it is trying to lose that weight with your older self. So, I mean, it does get a little bit tougher on that. But I think she could still get down there. But to your point, it may water down the fight for her, because then that could definitely be one thing. They'll say, well, you know, I had to jump all this weight. It was hard for me to make the weight. And then for AB coming up in weight, that's going to be hard for her a little bit as well. But the thing with AB, though, with her weight, she talked about in one of her interviews how she only fought one time at 126 because she paid weight 126, and like the next day she was like, fight night, she was like 154 or something like that. So that's a lot of weight to grow, a lot of weight to gain, you know. So obviously she's been shrinking herself down to being 126. She says she feels good at 130, even 135, but she's fighting more comfortable at 140 and 147. But the banner between those two was quite comical to me. Between the two of them, I just want to see AB back in the ring, you know, see how things, you know, I think they're still going to through the courts about the stuff that she went through earlier this year. So, and that's something personal. We really don't talk about that. That's why I'm talking as I am on there.
Yep,
But I don't agree with Claressa going at Rolly though. That's one thing I agree with you as well. I don't agree with her going off at Rolly because Rolly posted a video of her getting knocked down. He also posted the fact that he knocked the old boy out, which he did. And I think that was dude's last fight, or dude may have fought one more fight after that. He's only fought 6 times. But her going at Rolly, I'm like, why are you going at Rolly? All your energy, your anger is mad at old boy for being a sucker and dropping that video. That happened 5 years ago. So it has no relevance. So you should be going at him, not Rolly. Rolly ain't doing anything to you. You know, I think her anger is just displaced, and she just mad right now. I think she just needs to get a fight in, and she'll be good after that.
We'll see. We'll see what ends up coming out of this. I hope they do figure out a way to make it happen. I think it'll be a big fight for women's boxing, and I look forward to seeing it. So what else do we have on the plate, Jay, for today?
So still going, since I mentioned Rolly, so Rolly versus Regis. Great fight for both of them, or cap?
I think it's a great fight for both of them. I would love to see Regis versus Rolly. Rolly seems very disinterested in fighting. I don't think Rolly actually wants to defend the title. I think Rolly has been positioned to get titles that he probably wasn't qualified to get. I saw somebody in the comment section telling me that Regis Prograis should wait in line. What has he done and get an opportunity to fight Rolly Romero? I said, what did Rolly Romero do to get the opportunity to win the title? He did nothing. So I think that would be a great fight. I think it'd be interesting. The stylistic matchup would be interesting, and I think the trash talk would be interesting as well. So I would love to see a fight.
Yeah, trash talk would be off the chain with that one there. And I agree with both sides of that as far as what has Regis done to deserve a title shot right now. Nothing. He took a horrible loss.
Yep.
He took a horrible loss, so he needs to work his way back up. But to Greg's point, what did Rolly do to get a chance to fight for the vacant belt? He didn't do nothing.
Exactly. Nothing.
And arguably that fight was stopped too early because that dude was 172 years old and he was putting his foot in Rolly's ass for a while. So he got dropped. He dropped Rolly and Rolly dropped him. I think they stopped that fight too early, for that. But we'll see. But overall, as far as like the trash talking press conference, that'll be hilarious between the two of them. I think they'll go at it. But also right now with Rolly, the way Rolly's been talking on Twitter, we're talking about Rolly trolls a lot, so you never know what he's talking about, if he's telling the truth or half truth or just straight up lying. With that, he just said he hasn't been in the ring in a long time. Doesn't sound he doesn't want to fight it right now. So I'm like, they just need to go ahead and strip him of the belt. Don't make this fight between Hard Darius and Barroso for an interim. Let that be for the actual title, because Rolly is evidently showing that he doesn't care about defending the title. Then he could definitely fight Regis. It won't be a title online, but it'll be a build up from the shit talk. In that aspect there. It'll be a sloppy ass fight though. It'll be a sloppy ass fight. It won't be skills versus skills. Not that Devin versus Regis was skills versus skills. That wasn't skills versus skills neither. No matter what Regis tried to make it be, that wasn't that at all on there. But yes, outside of that, let's go ahead and dive into what I see a lot of y'all been talking about in the chat. So Devin Haney. Well, one thing about Devin. So it came out after Devin's fight that he blew up 25 pounds fight night. So basically, he came in fighting as damn near super middleweight. So he's obviously ready to fight David Morel, Canelo, Caleb Plant, David Benavidez style type fighters at that weight. I think that's a bit much. I think it's a disadvantage on both sides. As far as a health risk, I'm concerned for him, because that's a lot of weight to be putting on, going from barely making 140 and come in at 164, 165. That's a lot of weight, and that's for any fighter. This ain't about just them. This is for any fighter. To me, that's a health risk, and that's why I kind of like the IBF having that weight, that rehydration clause on there. They do have it where you can only rehydrate to so much the fighter, the morning of the fight, and then after that, it's on you. On that. But still, that's just crazy to me. I just think I thought he looked big, but I didn't think he looked that big. And there, I know Regis came in at 154, I think he said. 154,
156.
156. So he rehydrated 116 pounds. Devin went up 25. That's a hell of a lot of weight to me. That's just, there was weight. I think back to Arturo Gatti. Arturo Gatti damn near killed somebody in the ring because back then. He came in 25 to 30 pounds over. That's why they do that. They make sure you can't do that. So I think he's a weight bully, although he didn't have to use his weight. He used skill. So he could have come in at 140, 145, 150, 154. Wouldn't have mattered. That skill would have paid the bill in that. But overall, health-wise, I don't think that could be sustained. So I think that's another reason why he's talking about staying at going up to 147. So it makes more sense to me for him.
Yo, this is
that 25-pound weight gain.
Man, this topic, Jay, it ties into literally every subsequent topic we have in regards to Devin Haney as well as Gervonta Davis that we'll eventually talk about here. I had an interesting convo via DMs last night. It was really interesting. And this is why I love just differing opinions. And I love hearing what other people have to say. I had a DM conversation with Rachel Donaire, right? We were talking, we exchanged some DMs for maybe like 30 minutes prior to her flight leaving. I hope to get her on the show soon. But her thought is she doesn't like catch weights. She doesn't like rehydration clause. She said that the sport is getting quote unquote sassy. So I thought that was interesting. And I see her point because she said, hey, if you make the weight limit, then you make the weight limit, period. And I get her point. But my pushback is this, Jay. So you made the weight limit, but you're really just a big guy that has. So let me actually back up. So they made a change back in the day in the 1980s where they started to allow you to weigh in on the day before the fight versus the day of the fight. And what they were trying to do, Jay, was to prevent people from getting hurt, to make the sport safer. Instead of having guys weigh in the day of, which, you know, they don't have as much time to rehydrate or whatever, they gave them the opportunity to do it on the prior day and overnight rehydrate. Now, what this allowed, in my personal opinion, you guys in the chat, tell me if you think differently about this, but this is what I've been thinking about. I think what that allowed people to do is to take advantage of water weight, essentially. So I'm a fighter that, honestly, I'm a natural 154 pounder. If you look at me at 8% body fat, I weigh 155, let's call it, right? I'm 155 pounds. So what I've now had the ability to do is, oh, you're going to give me the opportunity to weigh in the day before. Well, guess what? I can actually now fight at 47 or even 40 because I can drop all of this water weight just to make the weigh-in, and then I can balloon back up to my normal weight. So the way that I look at this is what you did was you shifted the danger from the fighter cutting the weight to the fighter that's actually in the ring with the fighter cutting the weight. Because if you got a fighter that is, let's call him, he's 140 pounds, like he can fight at 140, right? But maybe he walks around maybe at like 145 or something like that. And he you know, cuts the weight to get down to 140 to make the fight. And you got another fighter who's naturally walks around in the 160s, where if he works out and gets real lean, he's at 154. And oh, if I just drain all the water out of myself for a few days, I can actually weigh in at 140. Well, guess what? When that individual rehydrates all the way back up to 155 or 160 or whatever, now you got a guy that's in the ring naturally at 145 versus a guy that's at 160. The guy that is just melting the water weight has a huge advantage when he gets into the ring. So you shifted the risk from the guy that's dropping the weight to his opponent. So to me, that is a challenge. That's why I'm like, yo, should we start to see guys, or should we see a move back to same day weigh-in? And before you say absolutely not, let's think about it for a second, right? Would it be possible, or could it be possible that if you were to move back to same day weigh-ins, you would have fighters who are naturally walking around at, or naturally a 154 pounder would think twice about trying to fight at 140 because they won't have overnight to just rehydrate. You won't be able to rehydrate 20 pounds if you were to weigh in, let's say at about 10, 11 o'clock during the day. By the time you get to that night, you won't have the opportunity to rehydrate to that point. So now you're going to go into the ring weak. So maybe then that fighter would then decide to, hey, I'm not, hey, you know what? 140, that's not going to work. I should actually, if at 10% body fat, I weigh 156, then you know what? The lowest I should go is 147. And you don't have a fighter like Devin Haney willing to fight at 140. He's going to say, nope, I'm going to fight at 47 because naturally, you know, that's really my natural weight class. And I just can't drain water weight in order to get an advantage. And I'm not saying that Devin Haney had an advantage over Regis Prograis because he beat him with skills, but I think that's a real discussion that relates to, you know, the subsequent conversation that we're going to have with Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney. So, Jay, I just gave you a mouthful, and I know that's the first time you've heard me say that because I have not said that to anybody else. I was just thinking about it earlier today. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's interesting perspective as far as, you know, seeing how you said it shifted the pretty much the dynamics of it from being on the person that was gaining the weight to the others, to the health that the risk to the person that's fighting in there. You know, very quick, I just want to give quick shout out to Andrew Castellano. He said people want Canelo versus David, but don't want Tank versus Devin Haney. We appreciate the $1.99 donation. We want both.
That's fair.
We want both fights.
That's actually fair. We want both fights.
Yeah.
But my thing is this, and I want to address what Andrew said. I don't know exactly what Benavidez weighs in at on fight night, so I'm not sure. And I'm not sure what Canelo weighs in on fight night. But I now know what Devin Haney weighs in on fight night. So before I knew that information, I was like, Devin, I was like, I think Tank should just move up to 40 and fight him, right? Have him come down and just fight him at 40. Don't have a rehydration clause or anything like that, and just fight him. And it will be, you know, I think he was still, because at some point I feel that Devin Haney's just going to get too big for the division. And then we found out that he weighed, you know, 26 pounds over one. He was a super middleweight. Now, I don't know what Tank weighs when he gets, but let's say Tank rehydrates to like 150. Like, because I heard Devin Haney say you usually rehydrate between 10 and 15 pounds. So let's say on the max. So he would go into the ring with Devin Haney with a reach disadvantage, a height disadvantage, and a tremendous weight disadvantage. And that when people say that, I still want to see it in that manner, that tells me that they don't like Tank and they want to see him lose. Yeah, because you want everything skewed to Devin Haney's advantage. You know, and that's, I mean, I know Tank is the A side, but he's not going to have enough things that he could actually negotiate in the contract outside of the weight stuff to actually level the playing field. Maybe the gloves, right? Puncher's gloves. But outside of that, what advantages will Tank have outside of, you know, his natural advantages of speed? So then we're saying that we're okay with giving people that kind of size advantage in the ring. And so with David Benavidez, if David Benavidez on fight night comes into the ring and he weighs like 195 and Canelo weighs freaking let's say 180, boy, Canelo. Now, don't get me wrong. The bigger you get, the less the weight advantage, you know, plays a part, right? You know, you get what I'm saying? So it's less of a big deal, but still a 15-pound advantage, that's a big deal. So I can understand that.
Yeah, it's a big deal. I see some original American said Devin Haney will take the same contract that he gave Mario Barrios. I think that'd be fair. I mean, I don't have a problem with Devin coming in.
What did he give Mario Barrios?
Mario Barrios had a rehydration clause. I think he can go higher than, I think, 150, I believe. Could be. And
wrong. Why is that an issue? Why is that an issue coming in? Like, because the IBF is doing it. So clearly there's a reason why the IBF is doing it, is because they know that people have the opportunity to just dehydrate down and then come in the ring and have a huge weight advantage. And you know, go ahead. Sorry.
I can't fault either side for trying to get the advantage. You can't fault either side for really trying to get the advantage. And I can't be mad at them both trying to be like, nope, I'm doing a catch. We're doing a catch weight. Nope, there's no catch weight. I want to have my advantage on you for weight. I want to have my advantage on you for making sure you can't go higher and make you be less than 100% possibly, because that's not your weight that you can usually fight at.
Yep.
So both sides have a point. You know, you can't say, oh, Tank's ducking because of this. Oh, Devin's ducking because of this. No, they want the damn advantage. The funny thing is, though, Devin is not the A side. He can't dictate the shit. He can't. He can't dictate the shit. He has to fall in line if he wants this fight with Tank. And for me, I want Tank to give some concession as well. I don't want it to be at 135 and Devin can't rehydrate beyond 145, knowing he can barely make 140. You know, I want to have both fighters to have as even playing field as far as that aspect goes. We can't control how tall someone is, how the reach advantage or anything like that. But as far as weigh in and weight like that, we can make that more of a level playing field. To allow Devin to come in at 164, 165, 160, whatever it may be, and Tank come in at 150, I'm not going for that if I'm Tank. You know, we're going to do a catch weight. We're going to have it this way. I want it. That's how I want it. I want to try to get as fair as possible because I'm not going in there giving you advantage. I'm fighting you, Greg. I'm not going to let you come in, outweigh me by 15, 20 pounds, and you already got a height and reach advantage over me? Nah. I can't let that be like that. Nah. And to everyone that's saying, well, what this is a Devin, we're not picking on Devin. This is the information that came out Devin with his weight. We don't know what David Benavidez came in. We know Boo said he was big as hell in the fight, and he looked big. Whether he was at 180, 190, I don't know. You know, and my thoughts still go the same for any fighter. This ain't a Devin thing because I like Devin. Devin's highly skilled. He's highly skilled. So that's why I really want them to try to make this fight and try to find a common ground. You know, get rid of egos and find a common ground to make this fight happen.
Yeah, Jay said, why can't Tank just stay at 135 pounds and clear the division? I'm cool with that too, because he got another animal at 135. You know, he got Shakur at 135. That's a great fight too. But there's something about Devin, man. There's something about Devin. I want to see that fight, dog. I really want to see that fight, Jay. I want to see Tank versus Devin. I really want to see that fight. That's the reason why if they can come to some type of concession, I would be happy for that. But the whole notion of because Devin Haney said we're gonna do it old school, no rehydration, no weight clauses, old school. And I'm like, okay, if you're gonna do it old school, then bruh, you should have same day weigh-ins too. That's old school. What you talking about old school? Same day weigh-ins is also old school. Are you gonna do that? I guarantee you say, no, I don't want no same day weigh-in now. So then you really don't want it. You really don't want it old school. What you're really saying is that you just want it, you know, skewed to your advantage. And I get it. Everybody's gonna try to figure out a way to get it to their advantage. But you're not gonna get it to your advantage as the B side. It's just not gonna happen. And so And I don't want to hear anybody talking about, they don't want to hear about A side or B side, because at the end of the day, that has existed since the beginning of freaking time. Since the beginning of time. If I'm not mistaken, didn't Sonny Liston have some demands against Ali, if I'm not mistaken? I seem to remember that. I can't remember exactly, but I know.
I think that came up too. I think I saw that in a recent video.
Sugar Ray,
like that.
From Sugar Ray Leonard to Oscar De La Hoya to Floyd Mayweather to Mike Tyson, they have all had the opportunity to dictate the terms. So we're not going to then start to say today fighters that are the more popular fighters don't have the opportunity to dictate the terms. And as the opponent, you have to figure out a way to overcome it. It is what it is. And if you say as the B side that you don't want to figure out a way to overcome it. Now, don't get me wrong. Devin can't just accept anything. So if Tank like, nope, got to be at 135 pounds, and I would tell Devin you need to walk, because you can't make 135 no more. It's clear as day to me. You cannot make 135. But if Tank says something like, yo, man, I'll fight you at 40. But, dog, you can't come in at 165, dog. Like, okay, you could come in at, you can come in at 155. But you can't come in at 165, dog. I'm not going to give you that kind of advantage. I feel like that should be somewhere where they can meet in the middle somehow and make the fight.
Yep. No,
hey, Jason Williams, I don't give a damn if you hate the A side, B side. It exists, period. Now, if you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you, but it exists. And unlike Claressa Shields, I'll fight you. Anyway, go ahead, Jay.
Hey, he said earlier he'll get you. He said you easy work because you won't beat Claressa Shields. You said you easy work.
Man, Jason Williams like my brother, man. He been on the channel since the beginning of time, dog. And I don't even have a brother, but if I did have one, I wouldn't fight him. So that is what it is. I wouldn't fight him.
But no, I mean, I'm hoping they come down to it where, they'll be like, okay, let's get this money. So speaking of money, supposedly Bill, the other side, put up money saying that they sent a $20 million contract to Tank, and Eddie confirmed it. Eddie said they did send it out, but he didn't get a response. But they ain't put anything else out there like that. First off, you're the B-side, and Bill, where's your money? Are you putting up the money, or is it Eddie that's putting up the money? Because I don't think Bill has that money to put up like that. I mean, Floyd has taught the business of boxing how you can be a promoter, but if you don't got the money, you can't put that type of money up to offer somebody at the table. Also, if this is a bigger fight than Ryan Garcia, Tank made, 50 last time? Because Ryan made 30.
I don't know what he made. I have no idea what he made. But yeah, go ahead.
So,
go ahead.
But I mean, either way, that's not enough. I mean, this is a good chance for it to be a negotiation. Just push it down back on them. Like, okay, now we ain't doing 20. I need 35, 40 million for this fight. But suppose negotiations didn't go anywhere. But Tank said it was capped that they didn't offer the 20 million to him. But also, it's kind of odd the B-side offering the fight to him. But I just want him to get it done. Do you think they actually offered Tank and them 20 million?
Man, listen.
Hold on. Good point, Energy Shift 2020. Yeah, Eddie never said 20 million. He just said a large sum.
I was just about to go. I was just about to go there.
Good point.
If you listen to Eddie Hearns, if you just listen to him, he says there's a large sum of money. Bill knows what the figures are. He never actually says that the 20 million. Not only that, he says we try. I would like to reach out to Gervonta Davis. We tried to reach out to him, but we didn't get any answer. Who did you reach out to? Because see, that's where reporters go wrong. If I was standing there, I would have said, hold on, Eddie, who exactly did you reach out to? Could you actually share and disclose a name that you reached out to? Because reached out to can mean several different things. I reached out to you by saying, doing a social media post, or I reached out to you because I DM'd you and you don't even check your DMs, or I reached out to you and it was your cousin it was your second cousin on your mother's side. I got his phone number and I just sent him a text and said, hey, you think Gervonta wanted to say? That could mean anything, and you would actually be telling the truth that you reached out. But if people understood what the details are, that's not really reaching out. You get what I'm saying? Like, to actually make the fight. Everybody knows that you reach out directly to Al Heyman and or Leonard Ellerbe. So if you didn't reach out to either one of those gentlemen directly to make a fight, Gervonta Davis's representation, then you didn't try to actually make the fight. So I think Eddie is crafty and slick at wordplay and word use. And I think a lot of these guys have gotten used to that, where I can answer your question and I can answer it in a way that I'm not lying, because I'm not lying. I did reach out. I'm not lying. There was money. There's a large sum. I ain't saying it's $20 million, but it's a large sum. So yeah. I can't say yes, I believe it, or no, I don't believe it. But the way that Eddie answered it, if it's me, I answer it with, yep, Bill is 100% spot on. We offered him $20 million and that was the offer, or those are the figures. Or I would say, well, 20 million is the actual figure. And I haven't had the opportunity to discuss it with Gervonta Davis yet because, I reached out to Al Heyman and I haven't gotten a response yet. Or I reached out to Al Heyman and they said, we're not interested. Or I reached out to Leonard Ellerbe and he said they weren't interested. That's how I would answer, so people are clear. But if in the same boat, me being me, Greg, if I wanted to answer the question, but I didn't want to smear the name of the person that I'm actually promoting, then I would answer it just like Eddie. Hey, there's a large sum of money that we believe we can offer Gervonta Davis. And Bill is familiar with all of those numbers, but I have not clarified whether the $20 million is actually factual. And I tried to reach out to Gervonta Davis, but we haven't heard anything back from him. So maybe we can make the fight on down in the future, But in reality, I sent him a DM, you know what I'm saying? So if I were trying to just, answer the question without answering the question, I answer it like Eddie Hearns. If I'm Greg in the way that I answer the question, I'm just too real for it. So I would tell somebody like Bill, you can't put me in a position like that. If you say that, I'm going to say, hey, I don't know what conversations Bill has had with Gervonta Davis, so I can't speak on that currently. But we would love to have a fight with Gervonta Davis. That's how I would answer that, right? Not to throw him under the bus or whatever, but that's, you know, I can't sit up there and not keep it real. So that's how I see it.
I mean, also to the flip side, you know, with this fight here, we know who the A side is. Tank and them need to go ahead and send a contract to Bill and Devin. You know, they want to fight as well. If you want to fight as well, you need to be. We got to hold them accountable for not sending the fight because they're the ones that's going to be controlling all the details of everything when it comes down to it, since they will be the A side. So you say you want this fight, I'm gonna send you a contract right now. I'm gonna send you the same contract I sent Mario Barrios, and let's see if you're gonna handle it. And then we start negotiating back and forth. We keep it going that way, you know, because Bill can say what he want, Ed can say what he want, but they're not the one that's gonna control anything. We know Tank and that side is gonna control it. So it has to be. It takes two to dance. It takes two to dance. So Tank and them, they gotta be like, okay, they can send whatever they want. It's on our terms. Okay, what are y'all terms? Send them the damn terms in, and then put it on their side to be like, okay, they didn't sign the contract. They didn't do it. You know. So I mean, it got to be on both sides. So much as I'm a Tank fan, I want to see him fighting Dev. I want to see him fighting all the other fighters as well, just like everyone else does. You know, but we got to hold everyone accountable fairly.
Hey man, let's start with the Tank side. Don't want that fight because every time I turn around, we're trying to create this narrative where, you know, somehow PBC is trying to duck and avoid fights. Listen, Devin Haney isn't Terrence Crawford, right? Like Terrence Crawford is like, and I saw that with Terrence Crawford that he's a really good fighter. And so if you want to make an argument that PBC never wanted that fight, fine. I have no problem with that argument, right? But if you're trying to make an argument that PBC don't want Devin Haney, man, Devin Haney ain't no damn Terrence Crawford. Man, stop it. Stop it.
You know, I mean, I like the way Devin moves from a business aspect, the way he was able to
absolutely
network to network.
Love it.
I love that. If I'm an upcoming fighter, I'm gonna try to follow that model because he's put himself in positions where he can fight on any network, fight for anyone's title. So I'm loving the way he's moving with that. You know, but I mean, right now we need to get movement on both their sides. You know, we know what Devin said and Tank said for him to call such and such. They need to call someone. So we sound like Tank's team. Fight him then. What?
Man, my thing is, man, I really like Devin Haney. And people they really don't people really don't get this about this channel as far as I'm concerned. Now maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we're just too loudmouth muff on YouTube, and that could be true. That might be true. But what I do believe is that we just call what we see, and it's nothing personal, man. I don't have no personal animus towards any fighter because I don't know him. I actually really like Devin. I like Devin. I actually like his dad because I think his dad is doing a great job of keeping his name relevant, promoting him, and I think they're doing a great job of being very strategic in how they move Devin. Man, all of those, like, I can appreciate that. I think anybody that's in business can appreciate that because being strategic is very important in regards to business and in anyone's career. Be strategic, right? Like, move him against the right opponents at the right time. And of course, at some point, he's going to have to take risk, but moving him against Lomachenko's an older fighter, but really good, got a good name. Kambosos not that dangerous. Regis is somewhat tailor-made for him, but those were all still really good fights that we're all interested in seeing. Now, you might match them up with the appropriate 147-pounder too. Being strategic is good while also sprinkling in risk to maximize the potential of the fighter while also giving the fight fans big names and big fights. That is an art in and of itself, and I respect that from Bill Haney and Devin Haney. But I also see exactly what they're doing. And just because I see what they're doing and I express and define what it is that they're doing doesn't mean that we're hating on them. I like Bill Haney. I like Devin Haney. I like Gervonta Davis. I feel like Tank is going to win, my personal opinion. And I like everybody out of that gym. I think that gym is just a tremendous gym. That Calvin gym is just, it's a tremendous gym with tremendous people in it. Coach Kenny Ellis, tremendous coach. I respect them. I can't call it a personal relationship with them, but I have a relationship with them, and I respect what it is that they're doing. But I also respect what Devin Haney and his team is doing, and I would love to see them clash and see the best man win. It's simple as that.
Yeah, I got a question for you, Greg. What's your thoughts in the chat? Y'all tell me what y'all thoughts on this. So all the new Devin Haney fans, I think Devin is like the greatest thing since sliced bread. Where were you after the Loma fight? Most of them weren't saying after the Loma fight. A lot of them were like, Loma won. Devin it was a robbery.
Let me answer Mike Jones. So Mike Jones, yes, Tank is moving strategically. They've been moving strategically the whole time. The whole time. Mayweather Promotion have been moving strategically to maximize the dollars associated with Gervonta Davis, and to some extent minimize the risk while also putting them in somewhat compelling fights. They've been moving strategic too. And it's smart. It's smart. Like I don't begrudge anybody from doing that. Mike Jones, I'm not saying that whatsoever.
Yeah, but some of the Devin fans, I know the Devin fans out here like Jay, and we like them. I had Devin win and beat Loma, but there's fans that said he lost to Loma and he wasn't that good. And he fights Regis, he beats Regis, dominates Regis, and all of a sudden he's the best thing ever. I'm like, y'all like just going back and forth with y'all.
Devin Haney did not lose to Lomachenko. I had him winning 7-5. He did not lose. Sorry.
Yeah, I had him beating Loma in that fight.
He did not lose. He did not lose. I don't care what nobody say. Just like my boy from Orlando didn't lose.
Oh, Lubin. Nah, he didn't lose neither.
Nope.
Neither
Lubin
one
did not lose.
On that, it wasn't a close fight with Devin and Loma. Yeah, it was a close fight, but I had Devin win. You can't take the last round off and be like, oh, you got in the bag when the other rounds were close and you were getting caught with body shots left and right. And obviously, Devin can punch a little bit because you went to the hospital after the fight. Your face was jacked up after the fight. It wasn't from no blocking neither. You were getting pieced up. And I agree, Tay. I thought Loma lost to Jermaine Ortiz. I was pissed about that. I thought they robbed Jermaine Ortiz in that. I thought he really won that fight. But some of these Devin fans are acting like Devin's just the best thing ever. Yeah, Devin is highly skilled. Highly skilled. And I want to see him fight Tank. Because I like both of them. But we gotta be real. Both sides are trying to get advantages. That's what it's about. They're both trying to get advantages. Now, to what degree is the issue? I don't want to be completely at a full disadvantage neither. But I'm not cool with Devin coming in at 165. Just like I'm not cool with Tank trying to drain him down to 135. Let's keep it real now. Let's keep it even playing field. And talk about even playing field, Tank cast doubt on the whole SNAC because he said take that SNAC ish out of boxing. Nothing's been proven at all. So Tank saying that, I can't ride with that. Do I trust Conti based on what he's done in the past? Nah, it brings up red flags. It makes you think about it, but there's no proof of any of that. So I can't roll with that. What about you?
Well, let me pause and first say we got 125 people in the building. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you could, please smash the like button. It's free, my guys. It's free, my guys and ladies. It's very free, and it helps people find the content. So please smash that like button. Actually, we got 131 now in the building. So smash the like button so people can find the content. And also, if you're new to the channel, this is AM Sports Media, the Angry Man Podcast. We drop boxing content all the time, videos, where we discuss our opinion, documentaries, you name it, we do it here, boxing analysis. Make sure you become a member of the channel or a subscriber to the channel. And the people in the chat section will tell you that all opinions are valued here as long as they're respectful. So become a part of the family. And hey guys, if you're in the chat right now or you're watching live and you choose to become a member, please do so. I mean, it helps supports the channel. That's how we pay the bills over here to actually produce this stuff. So we'd appreciate the contributions, any contributions that you choose to give to the channel. All right, Jay, what were you saying now? I'm sorry, I got lost. You talking
about your thoughts on the Tank And we can pretty much open the
Oh
phone lines
man,
up too.
oh man. When you start talking about, I can see anybody being skeptical of Conti, and I understand it. I respect it. I have no issue with it. Voice your opinion. Where I draw the line personally, where I won't. Shout out to Jay, man. I appreciate it, man. Like the comment and share. Thank you, Jay. Appreciate it, bro. $9.99. Thank you so much. Man, where I draw the line personally is this. I'm not going to accuse a fighter of doing something where I can't, where there's no proof, there's no reports or anything of that nature suggesting that that fighter is doing something that they shouldn't. Or here's the caveat, and here's where I will say I will start to question stuff. When you do something that an athlete has never done before, and it's far above and beyond anything any athlete has done, specifically your peers, then I will question it. Or if all of a sudden you appear to have a level of explosiveness or speed or power that I have not seen in the past, then yes, I will question it. So for instance, if you're talking about like something that your peers have never done before, like playing 21 years and averaging 25 points a game and like 10 rebounds and like 8 assists and winning in-season tournaments and being as explosive as you were in year 5 versus year 21, then I would suggest and think that there may be something going on there where it's not natural, specifically when everybody that came into the league with you is either retired or a shell of themselves, yet you look like a 22-year-old version of yourself. It should be questioned. Now, moving back to boxing, if you come into the ring and you demonstrate exquisite and extraordinary power that we've never seen before, you should be questioned. If you exhibit extraordinary stamina or speed that's never been exhibited before, you should be questioned. But these fighters, Devin didn't show extraordinary pop to me when he fought Regis, and other fighters have not, and that those fighters are going to remain nameless, because I don't want to go down that path, but they have not demonstrated extraordinary attributes versus what we've seen in the past. So I don't like going there, but I understand the concern.
Appreciate you, Jerry.
Oh yeah, appreciate you, Jerry. Thank you, man. $10. Today's message fire. Let them cook. Appreciate you, Jerry. But what's your thoughts on what I just said?
No, I agree 100% with you. I mean, there's going to be skepticism whenever there's been someone that's been associated with it. And someone was putting in the chat talking about everyone hasn't read the whole story about the Balco, how it was a redemption story as well. I haven't read it. I admit it. I haven't read it. I just know I know initially it wasn't that good thing. So, but I'm still not going to say he's automatically a cheat just because he's associated with Conti. I'm not going to say that neither until it's proven. Are my antennas high? You damn right they're high right now. But overall, I'm like, I can't say anyone's dirty until it's been proven. People just let Canelo just skirt off with his accusations and being caught, but it was just the tainted meat, they said, in Mexico. They let him get off on that. So, but nah, it's just I can't agree with just accusing someone of something without any proof. That's just not how I roll. I don't roll like that.
Nope, can't do it. I cannot do it, and that's not my thing. That's not what I'm going to do. Well, I'm very opinionated, and I see things through a certain lens, and certainly I can be persuaded to see something differently. But you're not gonna get me to talk about what somebody's doing where I'm so data and fact based, man. It doesn't. Man, stuff like that don't work for me, dog. It just don't work for me.
Yeah.
All right, Jay. So let me try to get these phone lines up.
It was a tainted meat, man. Tainted beef in Mexico. Now, like you said, Greg, to your point, if a fighter just comes out there looking like they've just been, found a fountain of youth or something, I'm questioning it. I'm gonna look at it, but until there's proof, I can't fully say, they're cheating or anything like that. As much as I'm questionable about Conor Ben right now, I'm saying all the stuff awesome, he gets off and all that stuff, but he still can't fight in certain areas. I'm still questioning that.
Facts. Facts. Totally agree with that. Totally agree. Sorry, Jay. I'm working on getting the phone lines up. All right. Phone lines are up. My guy Walt's in the building. What's going on with you, fam?
What's going on, fellas? What's going on?
Chill.
Jay, you said something earlier about Canelo Alvarez and Benavidez. You know Canelo Alvarez, if he fights Benavidez, there's going to be a weight clause in that fight. Canelo, he's weight claused a bunch of dudes. And the reason why I'm going to that is if you really know Devin Haney's a welterweight guy.
He's a welterweight.
If you've seen him, and I've seen him and Crawford in the same room, he's bigger than Terrence Crawford when they're not in fights. So it's like, but he can suck down to make that because he was at 135 since he was 17. His last few fights at 135, he looked scary in the weigh-ins. They knew he wasn't going to have many fights at 140. So the reason why they went for Regis, Bill was on Champside yesterday, and Champside asked him about the Supreme Matias thing, and he started that stuttering thing first, and then said, "Oh, I made a mistake on who I called." He knew he wasn't calling Matias's people, and it's the same thing with Tank. You can go and find Bill especially Devin saying Tank is a 130 pounder. He's not a 140 pounder when he's gonna fight Barrios. They know Tank's a little dude, man. It's like Devin, I guarantee you might have one or maybe two fights at 140, and it's going to be a struggle for him to make that. He has to have that weight. He won't take a weight class with Tank because he has to have the size on him to absorb Tank's power. And they know that. If Devin's at anything like 155 and Tank hits him, he's sleeping. He has to be a junior middleweight to take that power. And he might not be able to take it then. And no, don't get me wrong. Devin's a bad dude. You know what I'm saying? And it will be a great fight. But you got to make it fair. You know, people who are like this in Tank, y'all seen Tank in person, man? Tank's a little dude. He's barely 5'5". He can fight at 130 right now. It's like it's just, to me, it's like instead of Bill's like a court jester almost, man. It's like Bill the Scheme Haney. It's like, come on, bro. And I understand he's pumping his son, which he should. It's great. You know, it's a great money maker for. I don't want to see any brother get money or anybody who really can get money. I don't care what color you are. If you can get money, get money. But be fair. It's like Devin should be at 147 now, but they know if he goes to 147, all that stuff goes away because he'll have to fight Boots. And that Boots bothers me because Boots is like a closed mouth, don't get fed. He should be talking. Soon as they said 147, they uttered it. He should have said, Devin, come on, let's go.
You got to talk, dog.
It's like you heard. Did you see Bomac on Mills he was on Pro Box and they asked him about Devin. He started cracking up. He was like, "We'll ruin that kid."
Yep.
It's like, so don't get me wrong. Dev's a bad dude, but if you're saying you're this man and all this, why are you going for Regis right away? Why wasn't it Matias? Because when Devin first moved, Matias didn't have a fight. This was before Matias' fight. It's like, I'm not saying Dev can't beat Matias because I kind of would favor him. But he'd really be a welterweight fighting at 140. So, to me, I've just watched Dev. I've watched Little with the 126-pounder, what was his name, Jojo Diaz, right? I watched him beat a really 130-pounder Lomachenko, but that still was a good win. And it's like, now Bill's on there talking about, on Champside, saying that, Barrios would be a good fight because he won't be weighed down like drained down like Tank did him. Or Ryan's a good fight, but he won't be drained down. But before, Ryan was just a social media dude, and Barrios was just a made-up fighter for Tank. It's like, you can't make this up. You talking about, Greg, you said it. They move strategically. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so if they're trying to tell Tank, you know, what to do when Tank's just straight up the money man. I'm not shitting on Devin, but it's so right there in your face, man. You know, it's like my son said, Bill Haney's a court jester, and y'all know what a court jester is, man. It's like, it's almost laughable if you listen to some of the stuff he says. And y'all pulled it up with the Eddie thing. Eddie wasn't going to say we offered him $20 million because Devin Haney's only generated $5 million in his biggest payday. That means like $1 million or something on the at the gate and with the pay-per-view. How somebody who's only bringing, Greg, you're a businessman. If somebody's only bringing you $5 million, you're gonna offer Jason 20?
Well,
How?
I think
Unless
they
you
were
just throwing that money away.
Well, here's what I'm saying. I think what he was basing it on was not only Devin but also Tank, right? He has to have been taking Tank into consideration as well, because he can't guarantee Tank $20 million without Tank being a part of the actual pay-per-view card, and he's projecting.
You're right, Greg. You're right. But Bill's on podcast saying, "No, we offered him 20." Like, and they know that's not true. To me, I love what Bill's doing for his son, but I would appreciate it more if he just came out and said, "Hey, we want Tank," and we're not taking the rehydration, and just don't stop. Like, because here's the thing, bro. Remember when Devin got arrested? Bill went on the air right there, saying the next day, "Oh, why are you shitting on a black man? Why are you shitting on a black man?" But when Tank got arrested, he was passing out flyers of his mugshot. Like, come on, man. We can all eat without tearing each other down. Like, just but Devin Haney should be fighting welterweights. And if you're going to fight Tank, you got to realize the rehydration clause is going to be in there. But Tank can't bring him down to 135. Like you said, Jay, it's got to be at 140 and give the brother like 150, 153 rehydration clause.
Yeah,
I
think he should give him a 15-pound rehydration clause. And
yeah, I agree.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm not as big. I'm a natural 135-pounder. I'm willing to move up to 140 to make the fight, but you got to give me a concession too. I'm conceding some weight. You have to concede some weight, and I think that's okay.
Takes two to tango. Got to negotiate it.
And there's so many podcasts, and the fighters listen to these podcasts, and it's making the fighters angry with each other. When if really they got down to business, and I know you got to build a fight, but some of this stuff that Bill's doing is just, I know it's keeping his son's name in the limelight, but he's on there saying his son's the best fighter in the world. So if you're the best fighter in the world, you seen Pacquiao jump right up and fought welterweight. Why ain't you calling boots? Why ain't you calling that? And I'm not saying Devin has to fight them, but stop saying you that dude. Say, yeah, I'm the best in my weight class. But he's saying he the best. Come on. It just drives me crazy because I watched this dude and when Devin Haney first came out, I was 100% back with the dude, and I still am. I want him to win every fight, except I'm more of a Tank fan. But I think Tank beats him. But come on, bro. It's like you making it to where people like, man, my girl was like, who this dude on the screen? And every time Champ Side got ready to say something, he's like, hold on, over talking them when you're making a point. It's like it's like, and now it took me, I can't even watch the boxing voice anymore because of that dude. Because them dudes are like on their knees in front of him saying, yeah, stick it down deep as you can. It's like, it's kind of crazy to me because like I told you, I'm 61 years old. I've been around boxing since I was young, and I watched Don King talk a lot of ish, but Bill's taking it to another level, and I know he's pumping his son, but he will lie. He lied 3 times in 1 week. Y'all seen the Matias lie, then the $20 million lie. Then I forget what the other lie was. And when he got called on it, all he did is overtalk the dudes and go tank, 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 tank. Like Calvin was just on a podcast the other day, and I hope this is true. He said there will be an offer coming soon to Bill and them. And just like you said, Jay, he's going to have to take it, or they're going to have to negotiate from there. Devin has no pull when it comes to that negotiation. He's going to be able to say a little something, but Tank runs that whole thing. Ain't no $5 million man telling a $100 million man what to do. And y'all have a blessed day.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Thanks for calling in. All right, so before anybody else calls in, let me address what my guy said. Jay Harris, too real. $4.99. Jay Harris, thank you for the contribution to the channel, man. Really appreciate it. He said the hate some of y'all have for Dev is crazy to me. He beat the shit out of Regis. Let me answer this call real quick. Hey, Jerry, hold on for 1 second while I address somebody in the chat.
Let him cook.
Yeah. Hold on, Jerry, give me 1 second. He beat the shit out of Regis. Now all of a sudden he's a weight bully. Hey, so Jay Harris, too real. I don't think he beat the shit out of Regis, right? And he also did it with nothing but skill. But what was concerning for me, and this is a data point, and I talk about this all the time, when you get another data point, then you need to adjust your opinion or your thoughts on something, and you're just ignorant when you don't. Man, Devin weighed 25 pounds over. I didn't realize that. So I'm not saying Devin's a weight bully, because he hasn't done anything that would suggest he's a weight bully. But at the same time, he still would have an advantage coming in the ring 25 pounds heavier, because you have the ability to actually take a punch better when you're that much bigger than your opponent. So that's the way I see it. So I got my guy, Jerry Soriano, my lender for life, is in the building. What's going on?
Happy Sunday, my friends. How are you today?
Doing well, man. How are you?
I'm good. Hey, who is the Tank fan? It's Jason, right?
Well, we're both Tank fans, but we're Devin Haney fans as well.
But he's like the self-admitted Tank. He came out and said, "Hey, I'm a Tank fan," right?
Go ahead.
Right? Here's the thing with Jason. Let me start off with Jason for a minute here. He ain't used to this. His ears are perking up. The hair on his neck is standing up right now. Listen, here's the issue, right? He is very, very emotional when it comes to Tank, and he's very emotional when it comes to Canelo. Jason, let me tell you the difference between Canelo and Tank. Tank was smart enough to circumvent the pressure and not fight for belts, because both of them are operating on the same type of business model, except that Canelo is willing to take risks. Here's the problem with Tank, my friends. I think Tank is a very talented a fighter. But over the years, he's gotten lost. And I think, when I first saw Tank, I was like, man, this guy has the excitement of Mike Tyson, right? But what's happened to Tank is, I think that, and I know, you can look at the comment section and people are going to be like, what are you talking about? I think Tank has an issue with self-confidence, man. Because if you don't remember, and there are a lot of fighters like that, especially when you're on top. But if you remember, Mayweather wanted him to fight Lomachenko. Do you remember what Tank's message on Twitter was?
Something like, you're trying to get me beat?
Exactly. Who in the hell says that? And so here's the problem with Tank and Haney. Haney was at 135 for 5 years, right? Tank just kept talking about the fight. Nobody wanted to make the fight. This is so reminiscent of Crawford and Spence. And here's where I have to, we have to decide, are we fans of man or fans of the sport? And here's where I wholeheartedly believe that PBC has been terrible for the sport. You had some guy on, I don't know if it was last week or the week before that, I don't know if he worked, he was an executive for PBC, I don't know what he was. But he was defending everybody. He was yelling at Greg, and the PBC knows their numbers. The PBC never exaggerates. Brother, they've gone through 11 different platforms since their existence. This is what I talk about when people are delusional. 11 different platforms. 11. Okay? If we remember in January of 2022, Tim Smith, PBC executive, came out and said, there is no money for the Spence and Crawford fight. There is no money for the Spence and Crawford fight. Ellaby, no, that fight will never get done. There's no money. People have to understand this business. Well, what happens? Greg self-admittedly said that fight should have happened in 21, and it took or 22, and it took place a year later. We're waiting for it to cook and marinate, and it ended up happening a year later, right? And what did that fight do? Close to 700,000 pay-per-view buys. The fight that was the biggest fight in boxing, and yet there was no money in it. What is PBC doing right now? The same crap with Haney. There's no money in it. Oh, we got to let it sit. We got to let it wait. But here's what's going to happen to Tank. Tank's got to understand that he is 6 years younger than Haney. He's the oldest out of the bunch. And unlike them trying to age out Crawford, this is going to bite Tank. And Tank's not the type of athlete. He's not that serious boxer like a Crawford, like a Haney, like a Shakur. He gets overweight. People don't understand that dude started off at 126, moved up to 130, and when he went to 135, he came in overweight for his first fight at 135. If Tank took care of himself and if he was really serious about the sport, not about the money, not about being on Twitter, not about talking nonsense all the time, if he was really serious about the sport, he is really a 140-pounder. I've been thinking about this all week. In my head, I always thought Mayweather was the best, greatest fighter of all time. I no longer think that. I think Mayweather had the greatest career of all time. But Manny Pacquiao, that started out at 106, who's 5'5", literally all of his dimensions are exactly what Tank is right now. For all of you defenders of Tank, he's a little guy. He's a little guy. The little guy named Tank. The little guy that we brag about that knocks out heavyweights when they're sparring. The little guy that was so-called joking that he would tap Crawford in his chin and knock him out within 6 rounds. The big man, little guy, I don't know what he wants to be. But that guy, now, can I go up one weight class? He can't go up one weight class, the one class that he already went up to and won a belt. And we're defending him over that. And so Haney's got to. Everybody that wants to face Tank now has got to take a cut. You know, we got to rehydrate. We can't do this. We can't do that. I mean, listen, guys. If Tank Davis wants to be the next face of boxing, because he definitely isn't that right now, he needs to get serious about boxing. PBC and everyone, and I said PBC, but it's LRB. It's all of these minions. And now trainers that want to negotiate publicly about splits. These guys need to get serious about making fights. That caller before me was talking about Bill Haney. Brother, Bill Haney is great for boxing. What the Haneys are doing is great for boxing. If you had a Crawford or a Haney that was the face of boxing, that's willing to face anybody, that's what the sport needs. That's what the sport needs. Now, you can talk all you want about Canelo, but guess what? Canelo moves up, moves down, has moved up.
Take cherry picks. Don't start that shit. Canelo cherry picks. Let's be real, Jerry. Come on, man. He cherry picks, dude.
Come on, what?
Stop that bullshit.
Come on, what? Come on, what?
Come on, stop.
Come on, what?
Canelo cherry picks. He moves up. He cherry picks, Jerry. He went to Europe and went on a diet and fought nobody but bums. Stop it. He didn't fight David Benavidez. He didn't fight Charlo, and he didn't fight Boo. Stop the Canelo Protection Agency shit.
So why don't you put that? Why don't you keep that same energy when it comes to Tank?
I already have. I already called Tank out about that shit. What are you talking about?
I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry. So your breakdown between Tank and Haney is that Haney should take everybody that wants to face Tank should understand that he's the big boy on the block, and if you want to fight him, you have to make a concession. That is bullshit.
Yeah, well, Canelo,
bullshit.
Everyone did that for Canelo, right?
What's that?
Your guy Canelo, right? That's what they did for Canelo, correct? Yes, they did. I answered that for you. Yes, they did. You took too long. Yes, they did. Now, do I agree with it? So let me tell you how I feel about the Devin and Tank situation. It needs to be a common ground, meeting ground on this. It can't just be at 140 and let Devin.
Listen.
65.
Do we honestly believe that
35.
Tank Davis? Hang on one second. Do we honestly believe that Tank Davis can't make 140 comfortably? I mean, look. I don't know Tank Davis. I don't know Tank Davis.
66.
I don't know Tank Davis personally, okay? But he comes across as a guy that gets out of shape. You've seen it before. He doesn't come across now. Granted, there's a couple different personalities about Tank. Tank, once he fights a guy, he's very humble. But then when he gets in a certain crowd, he just yaps. So Tank does not come across as somebody that's necessarily a vibrant student of the game that takes care of himself, that's always in tip-top shape. I could be wrong, but he doesn't come across as that guy, right? Tank Davis should be able to fight at 140 comfortably. He fought at 140, and he dribbled Mario Barrios off the canvas 3 or 4 times. Brother, you can't be this big badass that is sparring and knocking out heavyweights and then can't move up one goddamn weight class to fight a guy that you say is pillow-fisted. I mean, make this make some sense.
Jay, what's up, Jay? Jerry trying to get at you, Jay. Get at him, Jerry. Jason,
saying,
what's up?
I'm just saying. Listen, we can't go, Crawford wants to be great. He wants to move up to 168. No rehydration clause. That's what we do. That's what big dogs do. He's moving up 3 goddamn weight classes. And we're saying, no, he shouldn't do that. He shouldn't do that. Your boy, the face of boxing, can't move up one goddamn weight class.
They make weight classes for a reason. You forget about that. Conveniently forget about that. Nice try. Nice try.
Nice try what? So we get on Crawford for trying to be great because that's what the big dogs do. That's what the big dogs do.
Jerry, it's the money thing.
He wants to move up 3 weight classes, right? Hang on. He wants to move up 3 weight classes, and y'all are on his ass like, oh, another. It's not going to be fair. Crawford's like, I want that food. I want that smoke. Tank,
Jerry.
the face of boxing.
What about Tank right now? Why are you so bad?
The big badass, right? Tank, the big badass who knocks out heavyweights in sparring. Tank, who talks about everyone being pillow-fisted, can't punch, and my punch is the greatest of all time, right? I got better skills than Mike Tyson. That guy is scared to move up 1 weight class and not put a rehydration clause on it, my friends.
So Jerry, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Jerry, hold up, Jerry. Let me ask you a question.
And I want somebody to compare Tank Davis to Manny Pacquiao, who started out at 106. Make that comparison, Jason. Please. For those that want to bubble wrap Tank Davis as being the small guy. Oh, he's too small. Oh, but he's the Tank, though. He knocks out heavyweights and sparring. He didn't have it both ways, guys.
You're not making sense with this, Jerry. Jerry, you miss a lot of my points about Tank. Big time, sir. So number 1 about Tank.
I'm listening.
I want Tank to fight. I want Tank to fight Devin. I want him to fight everyone at 135. I don't see a problem with him moving at 140. My only problem is seeing someone that comes in our weight class and comes in 25 pounds over. That could be Tank. That could be Devin. That could be Benavidez. I don't have this problem with anybody.
Listen.
You hear me?
Listen.
No, you listen. Are you hearing me?
You're either gonna fight somebody. Okay.
Jerry, are you?
Tank Davis known for knocking out heavyweights and sparring.
You're not listening, like I thought.
No, I'm just asking. I'm just asking a question. Because Deontay Wilder is on the other line going, dude, I fought a guy that was 75 pounds heavier than me on fight night. Look, dude, if you ain't a big dog, stay your ass on the porch. That's all I got for today. Happy Sunday, my friends.
Hey, Jerry. Thank you for calling, Jerry.
I see why they don't say shit to you, Doc. All you do is talk.
Hold on real quick, man. Hey, 718. Hold on, 718. Give me 1 second.
I see why. Oh my gosh. All he do is talk.
Hold on, 718. Give me 1 second. I want to address some stuff in the chat real quick. So NHA2, $5. Thank you so much. Appreciate your contribution to the channel. So Pacquiao and JMM, who are both the same size as Tank and both fought the best at 147, but Tank is too little or too scared to fight at 140. So I'm going to completely dismiss Pacquiao, right? I'm going to set Pacquiao aside and dismiss him completely because I have questions about Pacquiao. But Juan Manuel Marquez is a fair point that you're making. I have to acknowledge that. All right, 718, we got you in the building. I'm sorry?
My fault, Greg. My fault. You ready for me?
Hold on real quick. We got 148 people in the building, 87 likes. Guys, please smash the like button or the dislike button. I don't care which one you smash as long as you're engaging with the content. But make sure you engage with the content so other people can find this content. And also, if you're new to the channel, this is AM Sports Media, the Angry Man Podcast. We drop boxing analysis, video clips, documentaries, you name it, we do it. So become a part of the family. Hit the subscribe button. And if you are a subscriber already, consider becoming a member. It's $2.99 a month. And it helps the channel to pay the bills so that we can keep bringing you guys this great boxing content. So who do we got on the line?
What's going on, Greg? What's going on, Jason and Swagger L?
What's going on with you, fam?
I'm chilling. Listen, man. The other guy that was on the phone just now, he was going off, blah, blah, blah. Typical Devin Haney fans, typical Tank haters. Let's address a few things. Tank is naturally he's really a 130-pound fighter fighting at 135.
I don't disagree.
90% of the fighters that Tank has fought in all his weight, well, let me not say all his weight classes. Let me just say for the 135. 90% of the fighters he has fought has either been A, bigger than him, or B, the same size, but if you still really look, he's still smaller. Smaller in height, smaller mainly in reach. Just look at the stats. All right, let's bring things up to speed. We all know, and I do admit, Dev, he should move up. He 140, I'm not even mad that he moved up to 140. But let's be clear. He went into the ring 25 pounds heavier. That's crazy. How do you expect Tank, even though he fought at 135, I think, matter of fact, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong. When he fought Barrios at 140, I think Tank went in the ring at 152, 155 max, if I'm correct. I don't even think he hit 155. So he's giving up. It's too much of a disadvantage. So in one breath, all of these fans, y'all all say he's weight draining. Or is it that these guys is really weight bullying? Because if you could walk into the ring at 165, why are you not fighting at 147? Oh, it's because you want to weight bully people. That's all that is. All they saying is, listen, we're gonna do this fair. We're gonna do this fair and even where it's even on both sides. And I'm tired of everybody going with the Ryan Garcia thing, and they saying that Tank he weight drained Ryan Garcia. Look at the stats. Ryan Garcia, up until his last fight, he never really fought at 140. It was all catchweights. Just look at it. These are straight facts. So people got to just stop with it. Now, what I will say, if he fight Dev, I think Jason said it. I do kind of agree with that. Keep it in the middle at 115. Keep it 15 pounds. 15 pounds over. I can agree with that. I think that's fair. I think that's fair for Dev. I think that's fair for Tank. I still think Tank sleeps him because he's not used to that pressure. And then everybody's going crazy over Regis, going super wild, nuts over it. Let's be real. Who really thought Regis was going to win? Slow foot, hand speed is slow. He was tailor-made for Dev. Now, Dev did nothing wrong. He did what he's supposed to do. You had that. It's still a good win. It's a good name under your belt. But at the end of the day, Tank is the A side. You gotta respect the A side, and it is what it is, man. And that's basically all I got to say.
Hey, man, I appreciate the call. I understand exactly what you're saying. Concessions are going to have to be made for the A side, regardless of what people want to think or say or believe or want to dismiss from the sport. A side and B side have always been a part of the sport. And you got to make concessions, and to be the A side, you got to overcome those concessions to become the A side when you're the B side, and that's perfectly fine. It's what the sport has been, right. And I don't have a problem with that.
Right. I mean, one more thing. It's like look when Floyd fought. Look when Floyd fought Oscar. He gave Oscar everything. Oscar picked the ref. Oscar picked the ring. Oscar picked the gloves. Bro, it is what it is. If you feel that you the man, beat the person that's the man that's making all the rules. You beat him, guess what? Ball's in your court. You dictate everything else moving forward. But all of this with them, or all of this, the wolf tickets that they're trying to sell, and I get it. They're trying to build a fight. What I don't disagree with is, I'm not gonna lie, I do feel Bill Haney, he is good for boxing. He got a mouth.
He is. I agree.
Bro, I have no disagreement with him when it comes to that. I mean, we all know he's lying, and you know what it is. It's just so funny. Like, you got to look at it like this, right? It's like a family member talking bullshit to us, and we know you lying. Like, we know you lying, but you're the family member, so we let it ride. So that's what the Devin Haney fans is doing. Like it's so sad for Tank that nobody like. And I'm gonna say more so maybe like the hardcore boxing fans, the so-called hardcore boxing fans don't like him because he's associated with Floyd. If he wasn't associated with Floyd, I think he would be even bigger than what he is within the boxing community. But because he's associated with Floyd, he gets all of this, like everybody knocks him down. If you go through the common opponents between Tank and Haney and even Shakur, Tank has knocked them all out. Go through the common opponents. He didn't go to distance with these guys. He knocked them out. And if I'm correct, he actually fought them before. So that means he basically damaged them for them to fight. They go around, the Haneys go around and say, like a few months back or whatever, Barrios is trash. Let's see how that aged. He fought Thurman. He fought Tank. He lost, got knocked out. He fought Thurman, very close fight. He fought Ugas. He wins the title. I think that aged pretty good. Tank fought Pedraza. Tank fought Gamboa before he was completely trash. It was more of a step-up fight. Tank fought Cruz. Tank fought what's the other span? He has a good resume. He has a good resume. Yes, he does.
Hold on. But let me say this. Tank has a good resume. I feel like people try to disregard his resume. He has a good resume. I think Devin, after the Regis fight, resume's better, but Tank has a good resume. Let's stop trying to dismiss his resume because we don't like him. His resume is great. The reason why I give Devin the edge on resume is because he just stepped to a different weight class and won a title.
Well, okay, I agree with you. Tank did the same thing. I agree with you. But once again, Tank did the same thing. Barrios.
But did he win a title with Barrios? He didn't win a title though, did he?
Yes.
He won. Barrios had a title. Yeah.
That was for the 140 title, and he gave it up, and he went back down. So when people say that, they're wrong. Put Barrios in the ring with Regis. I bet you Barrios embarrassed Regis. Regis was a quote-unquote name. So basically, like for me, all of these boxers, the 135, like how T.O., they moved up, it's strategic. Like you basically know that you guys can take these guys out. So they moved up. There's nothing wrong with that. That's boxing. That's the way it goes. Totally get it. Regis was so handpicked. So yes, he looked like the boogeyman. But let's be real. Let's take 2 steps back. Who was like the boxers that he fought? They didn't seem like everybody say the 140-pound division is killers, right? I think the 135 got more skills, personally. I think it just got more skills. I think the 140, when Regis and them was doing it, yeah, the 135-pounders, they wasn't ready. Now that they ready, they stepped up. You saw what Dev did to him. Like I said, I'm not mad at him. Dev has skills. I will not disagree. But it's a big difference when you're stepping in, like I try to explain people, when you're going against Tank. It's not that I'm a Tank fanboy, none of that. I'm a boxing fan. Speed, power, ring IQ, footwork. So when you're fighting another boxer that has the same thing like you, the difference is Tank, though, has the equalizer. Checkmate. And it is what it is. That's why I say he clears them all out. He has the equalizer.
You know what? Let me ask you. Let me say this. Let me say this, because a lot of the people in the comment section, and I'm pointing at Jay in this particular respect, a lot of people will tell you that they actually think Tank beats Devin. Even the ones that are criticizing him, they just want to see the fight. But go ahead.
Right, but this is where everybody gotta understand. It has to make sense. It has to make sense. Like let me explain. Like, bro, we all watch boxing. Like, everybody, stop being a fan and just understand and look at the smoke and mirrors. I'm a promoter in New York. I throw parties, whatever. It's smoke and mirrors. I know a few boxing people, bro. If they really sold out that arena, why the lights wasn't on? I'll wait. Take your time. Go through the video. Look at YouTube. Go through the video and look at the fight. Every arena, when it's a sold-out event, the lights are bright and you can see it. They are trying to hype the fight, which they are supposed to do. Now, the reason why I say that on Tank and them side, it's iffy if you take the fight is because if you listen to Ellaby and all of them, they're not going to take a pay cut. So if I'm Tank, right, I do $5 million gates in New York at the Barclays Center, where I'm from, ATL, State Farm, DC. He's doing 5 million gates at these spots. What do I need you for? So I'm going to fight you, give you X amount of money. I'm going to take a pay cut for you? Nah, bro. You have to bring something to the table. Like I said, I'm a promoter. I bring out a certain amount of people. I do not split the pot even. I just won't do it. Doesn't make sense. You have to show me that you now, if I'm doing an event, I'm doing a party, we got this rapper coming, whatever, I know this promoter could bring out, I'll split the pot. If I'm running it, I'm still going to take a little more percentage because I'm still, quote unquote, in the promoter world, I'm the A side. But I'm not going to sit here and give you X amount of money and you're not bringing nothing to the table. Okay? 55, like, listen, I'm not saying Ellaby's lying. I don't, and it's kind of crazy. PBC on their side, they don't talk a lot of junk. I mean, they talk number junk as far as they making the money. But PBC don't come out, they don't blab that we did 300,000 pay-per-view. Like, they don't do that. So when Leonard Ellaby came out and said, yo, we know the numbers, and you did 55,000. Okay, let's say he was capping a little. Bill said, Bill and them and Blue Blood, I can't stand him no more. I don't even watch him. 200,000 pay. We know that's cap. We know that's cap.
Yeah.
I won't say. So I'll say. Let's say Dev did, because I thought it was hype in the fight. I'm not gonna lie. I was proud of Eddie Hearn. I say he did maybe 60, 70,000. It's not enough. Your gate was 1.7, and I don't even know if I truly wholeheartedly believe that. But Leonard said it. Whatever. But it's still, yo, that's half. That's not even half what Tank does in Brooklyn, in Atlanta. So I'm not splitting it. And then you're saying $20 million we're gonna give you, right? That's what Bill said. Eddie Hearn is saying that. We have basically investors and whatnot's willing to put up the money. I'm Tank. I'm gonna let Eddie Hearn and Bill dictate how much money that they're gonna give to me. Are you kidding me? That's not gonna happen. That is not gonna happen. You're not the A side. You do not decide how much money I make. I decide it. I decide. And I said to my friend, one of my friends is a diehard Haney fan. I said, I don't think he's Ryan. I think Ryan brought a lot to the table. It just made sense. It's two different fan bases. You got to understand, at the end of the day, Dev's fan base is mainly black. So if I'm Tank, I'm coming with the rappers, the ball players. I'm coming with the mix. Dev has also some of the mix. It's way smaller, but it's still the mix. Now, do I think if they combine it, will the numbers go up? Yes. It's not going to go up to Ryan Garcia and Tank numbers because they had two totally different people that was coming. Tank had the ball players, the rappers, so forth and so on.
Hey, let me ask you a question real quick.
Some of it, he had the social media influencers. I'm sorry, what you said?
Let me ask you a question real quick because somebody in the chat message, and this is my brother from another, so I got to ask this question. He says, Greg asked him if he wants Canelo versus Benavidez. Do you want Canelo versus Benavidez? I'm not sure why he wants me to ask you that, but he wants me to ask you that.
Oh, no, okay. All right, this is weird, right? This is weird. I feel, okay, I'm going to answer it. David Benavidez should not fight Morel. Morel's a boogeyman. That I really think that boy's the truth. He could have knocked that guy out the first round. He was playing when he was laughing. He's nice. But David Benavidez should stay away from him. Simple fact, he worked himself up. He's been working himself up for the Canelo fight. To fight this guy, not saying that David can't beat him, but to fight him is too much of a risk. That guy only has 9 fights. Even though he only has 9 fights, I think he's the truth. I think he will beat the crap out of Plant. I think he will beat the crap out of Durrell. Like Benavidez's father was saying that he needs to fight. He will knock those fighters out. Benavidez should not risk. I'm not going to risk my payday to fight him. Boxing is a business, and when people understand it, they will get it. Look how many boxers are broke after they retire. These guys speak. These guys are slurring in their speeches. These guys some of them look horrible. You can look how they dress, bro. No. So I don't think he should fight him. He has 9 fights. Bro, I see you when I'm a cruiserweight. When I move up in weight, I'm out of here. Now, as far as Canelo and him, see, this is the weird thing, right? It's like I said, I'm a boxing fan. The boxing fan in me wants to see Canelo fight Benavidez, right? Mm-hmm. But the boxing fan in me knows I don't feel that Canelo could beat Benavidez based off of Benavidez's output, right?
Okay.
Canelo is a pot shotter. So when he puts that pressure on him, I don't know. But this is the flip side. We've never really seen David get hit. So I don't know if he could take Canelo's power. So when people bring that up, I'd be like, I'm not mad at that. I understand. But this is where it gets juicy at. Bro, what do Canelo got to prove? What do he have to prove? He's been doing this since he was, 19 years old? I mean, has he been going on a world tour where he's been fighting cupcakes? Yeah. I won't disagree. Yep. But at the same token, he put butts in seats. He does decent on pay-per-views now, because his pay-per-view numbers is not what they used to be, but he still does good in pay-per-views. He's still technically he's king. I think Tank is the new king, but he's still king. So for Canelo being at the age of 33, still young, even though we all know he's on the decline, we don't know who he's supporting, his family. We don't know none of that. So you want him to step in the ring, get brutally knocked out. Let's say if David wins, he knocks him out or he batters him bad, and then his career is done. Nah, I mean, I think Canelo earns the right if he wants to fight this guy at the last point, the last fight of his career. I think he earned that right. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I mean, he went to Eddie Hearn. We know that was strategic. Let me get the bag. We know we're gonna sell a certain amount of pay-per-views. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win because Eddie Hearn fighters and these European fighters, they're not that good. Some of them is okay, but they're not good. They're not the PBC fighters. He did what he did. He knew that he milked that dry. He milked that well. It's dry. He went to the PBC, but look what he did. He fought a Charlo. He fought the small Charlo. So he fought a name, but he didn't fight a killer that he knows that could fight him. I don't think Charlo was scared. I don't think Charlo was going to take a dive in that fight. Look at the first round. When Canelo swung, even though Charlo gained that weight, when he swung and he felt that power, he said, "Oh shit." He backed up. He knew it was real. He knew a couple of them hard bombs, he's going to get knocked out. So, like I said, once again, I don't mean to ramble. The boxing fan in me wants Canelo to fight him. The business side understands if he don't fight him. What's going to be interesting for Canelo is it's going to depend on what the Mexican fan base say. See, only our fan base, the urban fan base, we're the only ones that's hard on our boxers. We're the only ones that say that our boxers are trash. And I hear a few of the Mexican boxers, Mexican fans, they get on and say, "Oh no, we down our fighters." Yeah, a very small group of you. A very small group, y'all mainly stick together. Until that fan base really calls for that fight, I feel that will force Canelo and make him step up to the plate and fight David. That's my thoughts.
Okay, man. I appreciate you calling in, man. Thank you.
No doubt. Later, Greg.
All
Later,
right.
Jay.
Later.
Appreciate it.
So let me start off by saying we got 157 people in the building, 106 likes. If you get the opportunity, guys, please smash that like button so other people can find the content. And if you're new to the channel, this is AM Sports Media, the Angry Man Podcast. We are always dropping boxing related content, whether it's boxing analysis, documentaries, short clips. We do it all here on the channel to give our opinions, so forth and so on. Make sure you become a part of the family. And if you are a subscriber, consider becoming a member. Members pay $2.99 a month or something like that. So it's a small sum, but it goes a long way in terms of helping us bring you this content. So, Jay, there was a lot of things that were said there. Hold on, we got a caller calling in. 310. Give me 1 second. So there was a lot of things that were said there. Personally, one of the things that resonated in me was the whole, in the urban community, we are quick to point out that, or be critical of our fighters. I actually think that's good. We should be critical of our fighters because we should hold our fighters accountable. Unlike, other, ethnicities or whatever, if you want to say that they're not holding their fighters accountable. I can tell you one thing, the gentleman that's currently on the line absolutely holds, his ethnicity accountable in terms of making sure that they make the fights. But regardless, we should be holding these guys accountable to make specific fights. And the A side, B side thing is absolutely real. I don't want anybody to sit up here and say that it's not real, because we know it's real. And if you were in the exact same situation, you're not gonna forego compensation in order to make somebody else happy. With that being said, though, you got to be reasonable on both sides, right? So from an A side perspective, you got to be reasonable in terms of making sure that you give enough to the opponent to make sure that they are interested in making a fight. And from the B side perspective, you need to understand that there's going to be some concessions that you're going to have to overcome in order to beat the A side. And that's the way that boxing has been overall for a very long time. And I don't see a way to get around that. So I see both sides of the argument, but it is what it is. Now, I believe I got my guy Adrian on the line. Am I correct?
You know how we do it, baby. Adrian from LA, baby. You know how we do it.
You know how we do it. What's going on?
Chilling like a villain. How you guys do? Hey, what's up, Jason Gray? What's up, you guys? So you know what, man? The last caller. You know what? I like what he said. I like his input. But like you said right here, there's a Latino right here, Mexican American right here, that definitely holds Canelo's feet to the fire. I cannot stand the way this fool has been, on that European diet for a minute now. And he's got to fight Benavidez. Straight up, I'm going to leave it at that. David Morel, last night, man, that guy looks pretty damn good. But you know what? But he fought a guy that, I don't know, man. He's standing right in front of him. I really don't know how. I mean, David Morel, he looks good. Don't get me wrong. He looks good. But how good is he? I mean, I would love to see Benavidez get in the ring with him. The previous caller said it'd be kind of risky, and I kind of agree it would be risky. But Benavidez, if he is that guy, first of all, Benavidez has got to go for Canelo first. That's got to be his first thing. That's the money right there. But if he can't get the Canelo fight, I would love to see him fight Morel and show everybody that he is the real Mexican monster, that he is the real deal. Because this guy Morel, yeah, he's only got 10 fights in there, but you know what? He's a man. He's looking pretty damn good. So when it comes to that, okay, one more thing. Okay, as far as Bill Haney, I love Bill Haney. You know what? I love Bill Haney. We all know he says a lot of bullshit. We all know that. And I kind of liken him. You know what, man? I kind of liken Bill Haney to Bobby the Brain Heenan or a Slick, from WWF. You know what I'm saying? I kind of like, but that makes it good. Bill makes it exciting, man. I love Bill's wordplay. I love his wordplay, man. That guy's from the streets. But I love his wordplay, man. I mean, we all know what he is, man. We all know what he is. But I love him. He's, whatever he is, he's doing right for his son. He's getting his son's name out there, and that's what it's all about. So whatever, if anybody don't like Bill Haney, hell with you, I like Bill Haney. I mean, we all know he's full of shit, but I love him, man. I love Bill Haney, man. Bill Haney's good. First, so like, what? Oh yeah, one more thing. What did you guys think about that Rayo fight when he knocked out Colbert cold? What did you guys think about that?
Colbert's too small, man. He needs to move. He wants to rematch. He's gonna get knocked the F out again. He's too small. Yep. He's just too small.
He didn't have any power. He didn't have any power for 135. He didn't really have power for 130. He's not that type of fighter anyway. So he needs to be able to be in a smaller weight class where the bigger guys aren't really punching on him like that. Like every punch he took was moving around the ring. I mean, this fight last night looked just like a repeat of the first fight. You know, it was almost identical. I was like, in the first round, I was like, stop the fight. Just stop the fight. You know, I gave him credit for biting down and hanging in there as long as he did, but that knockout was brutal.
Yeah, it was bad. You know what? The punch looked bad, but it looked like it affected him more than I thought it would. I mean, the punch was solid, but it didn't look like it was that bad. I mean, but damn, he was out, man. He was out for the count. Jason or Greg, guys can tell me. So I heard that Boots is going to possibly be fighting in what, February or March. Do you guys know who his possible opponent might be?
I haven't heard, but you know what? I'll reach out after this fight to see if we can figure out who it is. I have always thought that it would be Crowley, but right now I don't. We have not. Yeah, we have not dug into. But we'll check around and see if we can figure out who it might be.
Yeah, man, because I want to see Boots fight bad. I mean, that's what you got to keep getting back in the ring. You know what? Like you said, you know, Boots doesn't. You know, he doesn't speak all that much. You know, that's probably something that's kind of detrimental as far as furthering his career. But man, the guy's got all the tools. The guy's got the most God-gifted talent that I've ever seen in my life, man. I've seen them all. But he's got to prove it in the ring. But if you can get on top of that and kind of let me know, keep up to date on Boots, because that's my man right there. But I'm gonna leave it at that right there, Jason and Greg. I appreciate your time. Hey man, I would have called in last week, but I was at the Bronco Charger game. I was in LA SoFi Stadium watching that game, so you know how that goes.
Nice.
But yeah, you know how that goes. But I want to send a shout out to my dad in heaven. Love you, Dad. My son Jeremiah, love you, son. Appreciate your time, Jason and Greg. You both have a very nice afternoon. Appreciate your time, man.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you for calling in, man. As usual. Thank you.
You got it, man. Peace out.
Later. So let me read off a couple of messages from Jerry Soriano, man, one of our longtime supporters of the channel, man. I love Jerry. Even though I disagree with a lot of what he says, I absolutely love Jerry. He says, the caller after me admitted Tank 155, Haney 165, power versus pillows, big boys do big things, case closed. And then after that, he said, Canelo Euro diet, Tank Latino diet, last fought an African American in his sixth fight of his career almost 10 years ago. Okay.
Just keep the same energy on both of them, though.
And there's a couple of things I want to give Slap Happy Gorilla. Oh, this is my dog, man. Slap Happy Gorilla Daddy. Yes. Hey, man. Hey, bro. What's going on with you, dog? He gave us $4.99. Salute to you, man. And then I think he said a message too. I think Tank sleeps Devin at 140 without rehydration clause. Man, I think a lot of people who are actually critical of Tank actually believe Tank will beat Devin. I do. There's a lot of people that think Tank wins, but they just want to. They blame Tank for the fight not being made. I don't. And to Jay's point, there are people at 135 pounds that Tank can fight, right? So if Tank doesn't make the fight, and I want to push this out there. I want to put this question out there to those who are in the chat currently. You tell me how you feel about this. Tank fights Shakur in 2024 and beats him. Does he have the best resume in boxing, or at least within those fighters, the 135, 140? And then would you give Tank his just due, Jay, Jason, and everybody else who we've seen in the chat? Because in reality, I want to see what people say first. Because actually, I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there, because I think a lot of people will say that they will give him full credit for Shakur right now, but then the question then remains: you could then make the argument, who is Shakur beat? Who is Shakur beat? They'll give Tank full credit for beating Shakur, but you could make the argument of who is Shakur beat. You feel me, Jay?
Yep.
857, what's going on with you, fam?
Yo, this is me calling back real quick, FSUY. I just want to say something. Yeah. On the Raj podcast today, I just saw it that Coach Kenny said that there's going to be an officer going to the Haneys this week. So he said, watch, by next week, they'll back out of it. So we're going to see now. If he's true to his word, then something's going to go to the Haneys this week. And then hopefully we can get this fight, because I agree with y'all. I really want to see the fight. I'm tired of all of the Bill stuff, you know what I'm saying? And it's been too long for them, too. If they can make it where the weights match up, like 15-pound hydration, and Tank can sleep him, and then we can get on to better and better things. Y'all have a good one.
All right, appreciate you, man. Thank you for letting us know that. All right, Jay. So I think that's pretty much all we had today. We had the 2-hour mark. So first and foremost, I want to say thank you for everybody that contributed to the channel today. Jay, you might have wrote down all the names. I'm not sure, but if you're in the chat, if you're in
them all off.
Oh, no, real quick. If you're in the chat right now, before you exit, please smash that like button, guys. It helps people find the channel. And if you're not subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. This is AM Sports Media. We're always dropping fresh content. And one of the things that I want to point out to you guys is that, you know, the mission of the channel, one of the things we strive to do is to give people the opportunity to have their own voice. If you've noticed, if you're new here or if you've been on the channel for quite some time, we give people the platform to speak their minds, and we only give our opinions sometimes when people they want to come right at us, because we want to give you the opportunity to express what it is that you want to say, and we don't ever on this channel want our voices to be louder than yours, right? The channel is for community. You have the opportunity to come on here and state your case, whether we agree with it or not. And we will never try to overtalk you to state what we believe to be facts, when in reality, all of this is just our opinion. So, Jay, can you read off the names of the people that supported the channel today?
So much appreciation to Andrew Castellano, Mike Jones, Jay, Jerry, Jay Harris, 2 Real, NHA 2, Chase Benjamin, and our boy Slap Happy.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you guys for supporting the channel. It's always much appreciated. And again, your opinions matter on this channel always, whether you agree with us or not. Just please, if you have an opinion, just please don't. It don't matter how large you are. It doesn't matter. Please just don't call us names. Don't call us dick eaters and all that other stuff. I'm not with that. Don't call me no names, man. Don't call me anything other than Greg. You can call me a clown. I don't care if you call me a clown. You can call me a clown as much as you want to. But like, you can tell me I don't know S about boxing. I don't care about nothing about that. But man, don't call us names, because, you know, we're not going to call you names and stuff like that. Just give your opinion, and man, we enjoy hearing your opinions. I go through and I scroll through and I look at all the comments, and some of them agree with us and some of them are not. And I think people like Jay Williams or Jason Williams and Jay and Brenda and John Mack and Jeff, Bama Jeff, and I think a number of people can attest to the fact that Levi Anthony, that you can agree with us or disagree with us and we still good. Jake just gave a bunch of clown emojis. You didn't have to go there so quickly, but you didn't have to go there so quickly. But yeah, man.
Nah, that's appreciative. Even though Jerry was talking loud and loud and loud, I couldn't say more than two words. It's still all good. He got his emotions off. I hope he's doing better. I hope his blood pressure is lower now and everything. And he should have a good week now.
Hey, Jerry focused his attention on you, man. That was actually kind of a good, man. I got a break this week because Jerry usually comes straight after my ass. Boy, he comes straight after me. And I actually understand it because I have a very strong opinion on certain stuff. So I always enjoy Jerry calling in. Jerry is been following the channel for so long.
He's been following for a while. You know, that's why it's okay. Let him be loud. I find it funny. You know what I'm saying? But like Greg said, this is the boxing community. That's what we're here for. That's what me and Greg, this is pretty much what our brainchild was, to bring it here to the forefront. We appreciate y'all. I mean, without y'all, we wouldn't be able to do this for sure. So we appreciate all y'all.
Absolutely. Because being on YouTube is expensive as hell. It's actually YouTube. I was surprised at how expensive being on YouTube is. So I'm very appreciative of you guys supporting the channel. And Jason and I are probably going to log off here after this and start working on content for the upcoming week. But yeah, man, love to everybody in the chat. Again, you'll see content coming from us tomorrow. You'll see content from us tomorrow on a number of different topics, some of which were mentioned as a part of this conversation today. So appreciate even Jake and Mr. International that hit us with clown emojis right after I said I don't care if you called us a clown. That's messed up, Jake and Mr. International, but we'll take it. And until next time, everybody. Yeah.
Real quick. Hey, Tay, we live every Sunday at 4. Every once in a while, we might do one during the week, a pop-up one. And sometimes we'll do it for go live for the fight party. But since there's not there's a fight this coming Saturday.
Got to be a big fight though. Oh, we might go live for that one, yeah. But you'll know if we go live. Make sure you turn on your notifications. You'll know when we're going to go live. We try to make you guys aware that we're going to go live ahead of time. Now, sometime impromptu, I will get the energy and I will simply just go live. And usually when I go live and it's impromptu, it's a rant, right? I go on a rant and I'm fine with going on a rant. And sometimes I get cooked in the comment sections for my rant. Sometimes people agree with it. But at the end of the day, that's usually when you're going to see us going on something that's impromptu. But you can always find us 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday. I think we've been very consistent, Jay. I think in the last 12 months, I think we may have only missed like 3 lives or something like that. We try to make sure that we're here. Yeah, we try to make sure that we're consistent in everything that we do. Again, make sure you guys tune in to what we're going to drop this week, and your comments and your opinions are welcome here, whether they align to what we're saying or not. I could care 2 shits if you agree with me or not. I'm always curious and interested in hearing what other people have to say, because sometimes you may sway my opinion, sometimes you may not. But man, I so much enjoy just the conversation and going back and forth about just boxing, the sport that we all love. So, okay, man.
Real.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And you'll be hearing from us tomorrow. Until then, peace.
Peace.